Hi, and thanks for tuning in to our live radio show. Moments of Clarity with Tiffany will begin in just a few moments. Please stay tuned. Kindly take this opportunity to share this show on your platforms because change can only come when we stand together as one, especially when it comes to ending the stigma on mental health.
You are not alone, and help is out there.
Kids have mental health issues, and we also need to learn coping skills.
Let's get started and let the show begin. See you soon.
Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, your soul will align. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Warner. I am a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we're going to have a very interesting show with a wonderful person whose bio is so long of all of her accomplishments, it'd probably take the whole hour up for me to read it. This is my informal introduction before Tan Talk Radio logs in, and then we go live on air, okay? But welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany, Grace Della Rosa. And Grace, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for me, Tiffany.
And thanks everyone for watching and for tuning in. And if you could possibly, please share this on your platform and as well as hit the like button and subscribe. There should be a logo like other way on the bottom. Just click on that and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching us on YouTube with LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook. Feel free to chat in the live comments. Tell us where you're viewing from, and we'll try to get to your comments as well. But thanks for joining in. Joe from LinkedIn, thanks for joining us today. Invite your friends to watch the show. Thank you, Joe. Good friend and member of the Moments of Clarity team. Hello, Pinellas Therapy. Hi. She says, I'm viewing from Safety Harbor, Florida. That's where I am too. Welcome. And if you can't call in and have a question for the guest, leave the question here. Every effort will be made to read your question live. So true. Thank you so much. My guest today, you guys, is not only an entrepreneur and involved with so many things, not even just been a veteran and a CEO of a company, a holistic wellness coach, and also a clairvoyant medium that she's offered to discuss all of that today with us. And I said, if something happens and somebody from my past comes through, put me out there. Anyway, it's time to go live. Where's Tan Talk Radio? And as soon as Ed unmutes, we'll start the show. And it always happens mid-sentence for me, so I don't know when to stop talking. But Ed, we're ready for you whenever you are. Right when I say something, it's going to start. Hello to Summit Innovations. Therapy on YouTube says, I'm so excited for today's show. Me too. So thank you for sending the chat and connecting on to Ed. Ed, if you unmute, I know we're at our time.
Clarity's mission is to educate and end the stigma on mental health through the inspirational stories of our exceptional guests. You can join in the show by calling Tiffany toll-free at 866-826-1340 or on Facebook and Twitter at MOC with Tiffany. Now, here's Tiffany Werner.
Hello, and welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Werner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we have a wonderful show with an inspirational guest with exceptional stories and exceptional guest inspirational stories, and has been so involved with the community that her bio is so long that if I read it, it would take the whole hour. But not only that, she is definitely a holistic wellness coach and CEO and founder of Living with Grace, transformational coach, and also a clairvoyant medium. Before I completely introduce my guest, I want to say hi to Ed at Tan Talk Radio.
Hey, and happy Thursday to everybody.
Hi, Ed. Happy Thursday.
Hey, can you see? I'm working on my tan. Can you see it? Can you see it?
I can.
For our radio listeners, Ed's got a tan line of a watch.
Yeah, because people have been coming in and saying, "Whoa, are you getting tan?" Even with these bright lights and stuff. I'm showing them my tan line, and that is because when I'm out riding, I got my watch on, and I got my rope bracelet on the other one, but you can't see that.
With or without the watch on, you look like you had a watch on.
Yeah.
That also is bad for those that cheat on their spouses when they take off the ring and have the tan line and try to pretend they're not married.
Well, I haven't had to worry about that for a few years now, so.
Yeah, me too.
My finger has gone back to virgin status. So.
No tan line there, and you can tell because you have the watch tan line, but not the wedding band. I'm just.
Funny thing, I tell you, when I did get married, we were drinking the night before, and I almost couldn't put when we put the rings on, it was like, I was like, we did a little drinking last night.
Yeah.
You couldn't get it on or off. He said the night before.
No, to get it on. That's a good thing it wasn't a pair of pants,
Well, I don't know. The day of the wedding, the ring not fitting is not a good sign, and hence maybe the divorce.
Another subject. How'd we get on that anyway?
It's okay because our guest today, she can speak to the ones that have passed over and left us. Clairvoyant medium, but so she doesn't speak to. She's not a psychic, so she's not gonna read you.
Too.
Okay. So Ed, watch out.
Okay.
Clairvoyant psychic medium. It's my first time coming out of the closet, so to speak.
It's part of your bio that's long.
It is.
But hey, it's interesting, and I would never I don't know, question it. People have gifts, and I love sharing and how it's probably affected your mental health when you started coming into that realm and realizing that you had these gifts. And we have people watching from Facebook from Nigeria. Wow. And thank you for tuning in. And it's Beatrice and Isufu in Nigeria. Stacey McConnell from Colorado off of YouTube. And hi, Garish, Back to Basics on YouTube. And my new friend Fernando Vasquez, listening from Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, I love that area.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. some of these friends of mine are just masterminds at what they do. So anyway, let's get to the show. And if anyone has a question to call in, 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340, call in and join the show. And I'm bringing Grace out of her comfort zone because she said she's never kind of quite come out as the clairvoyant publicly. I didn't know psychic, it's not quite in your bio, but
Clairvoyant psychic medium. It's yeah.
well, that's going to be very interesting on how that's affected your mental health and how you've helped others reconnect with those that have passed on. I also told Grace before the show, most of you know, I've lost most of my family when I was young, which just made me started off the whole passion of ending the stigma on mental health, and how passionate I am to discuss mental health, and that it's okay to not be okay, because trauma can definitely derail us off our path. And that back in the day, like, no one was passionate about mental health, and it's making a comeback, but it's not where it needs to be completely. And so anyway, I told her, if somebody comes through from my family, go ahead and put me on the spot. Just depends on what they say. But you know what? I'm an open book. Let them look me up. It's fine. Anyway, so Grace, you have done so much, and with your bio, I kind of just like to just let you just introduce yourself, because I don't want to highlight the parts that you don't want me to. So welcome to Moments of Clarity, Grace De La Rosa. And so when you say moment of clarity, by the way, you get a bell. So just
The
saying.
moment of clarity is at this moment. One of the most present moments is the moment of clarity, right?
Yeah.
To be present.
To be an aha moment, like that we just realized, wow, like it's an awakening. That's
without a doubt. And I love that you say that, because that was what happened to me. I had a spiritual awakening. And what I'd like to say is I'd like to go back right before the spiritual awakening, because it takes a lot of trauma for people to have these kind of experiences. And not many people, I don't know, in my world, not many people really talk about it unless I ask. And I never even knew to ask of that, because I didn't even understand what that meant until I had my spiritual awakening. So we talked
what
a lot
was that
about
like for you when you had that awakening and been, we live our lives one way, right? And then all of a sudden you have that awakening moment of clarity, and it's kind of life changing for a lot of us, right? So what was that like for you? And
for me, when I had it, it was that burning bush kind of 3 days and 3 nights of a complete download of information from beginning of time, as if I had watched a movie of the world becoming. And the most beautiful part of my spiritual awakening is seeing the connection of the oneness of me and you, of realizing that the relationships are really, first and foremost, besides the one, of course, always, of your higher power, which I like to call God. And if you have an issue with the word, I like to use the word love. So I understand we're not to talk about religion, but we can't talk about the spirituality.
I keep religion and politics off the show only because if it seems like I'm one way or the other, mental health affects all boards: Democrats, liberals, Republicans, atheists, everything. Mental health affects everybody. So the controversial topics I keep off, because we want to just stick to the mental health part.
Right. Okay. So that is how I came to my spiritual awakening, is just seeing all of that and recognizing that the beauty of love is the things that seems to be, we talk about mental health, but it's all a part of our life, like you said. So it's almost difficult. It's so difficult I'm going to try to stay away from the politics and all of that, but really it's just the way our society is. We don't talk a lot about clairvoyant psychic mediums. And we also have these horrible stigmas, these words and labels that are used on children and just humans that are having difficult times. I hear mental health illness and I cringe at that. And I'm saying, why not we use the word mental health challenges?
Or wellness, or just anything. Yes. I mean, just mental health. We need to know what the symptoms are so that we can develop coping skills. So many people are afraid of the label or diagnosis because they think that that might define them. But at the same time, it's not. Don't you want to know what's going on with you so that you can live life to the fullest potential and that you can be the best you that you can be, because you're taking on whatever symptoms or things that are getting in the way, whether it's anxiety or depression or anything that's causing you lack of motivation, or even a family problem, to go seek professional help, divorce, counseling, couples communication, problems with children, you name it, things like that.
Can I just say something here? And this is one of the reasons I don't like labels, but at the same time, we all do, or should at least, recognize the importance of having labels, because it helps us group things together when we think of things. So it makes life a little bit easier when we say something. Then we know, oh, we've got these symptoms here that we're talking about. The thing that I was explaining to somebody else about autism is, okay, so we understand that they have a different way of thinking, but what if we focus more on the positives of them? Not majority of them are extremely intelligent in one way, shape, or form. And then they may not just be socially able to communicate with us, but just because they can't do that on the outside doesn't mean they're not extremely intelligent here. Let's look at Rain Man. Rain Man was autistic, but man, was he gifted.
Well, autism is not an intelligence diagnosis. It's more like of lack of social skills.
Yes, it is a lack of social skills, but
or challenged in social skills, and where they have trouble. Most people with autism, living with autism, have difficulty understanding us, because not us, but people without autism, because average person as a defense mechanism uses a lot of sarcasm, which person living with autism, they're very direct and literal and honest, and sometimes brutally honest, which some people get offended by. But I think honesty is a beautiful thing. So anyway, so back to that, we have a caller that is asking in the chat, if we call in, can you give a reading from one of the viewers today? And you're allowed to say no before I put them on.
Oh yes, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all. This gives me great joy.
All right.
To feel. So yes.
Well, before we get to that, since it's time for our first break, we'll keep the caller on the line and take our first break, so then we have time and not have to get interrupted. But that's going to be interesting. So stay tuned, and we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment.
You're listening to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. We welcome your input at 866-826-1340. Tiffany will be right back after this.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hello, my name is Lucille Ball, and I'm a real estate agent that supports ending the stigma on mental health with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I am also passionate about helping you buy or sell your home. With times being so difficult, I'm here to help. Contact me at lucylopes.com. That's LUCYLOPES.com. Let me assist you through this pandemic and know that you are not alone.
Hi, this is Tiffany Werner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Werner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one.
Are you looking for a great book? If you like to root for the underdog, Joe Potosi's book is a book for you. A real American Odyssey that will grab your attention with its fast-moving narrative. You won't be able to put this masterpiece down. When the Dust Settled by Joe Potosi. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Zulin Press.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
We are back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. To join in the discussion, call 866-826-1340. Now, here's Tiffany Werner.
Hello, and welcome back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Werner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today, my guest is Grace Della Rosa. She's not only a holistic wellness coach, but a clairvoyant medium, psychic, and also involved in so many things to help the mental health community and networking and bringing people together to help us all connect. And like I always say, change can only come when we stand together as one. And welcome back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany, Grace Della Rosa.
Hi, everybody.
So before we went to break, we had a question that one of the callers wanted a reading, and you said okay. So we have caller Leslie on the line. Leslie, thanks for calling in to Moments of Clarity. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing well. Thanks for taking me as a caller, and it's great to listen in today.
Yes, and thanks for calling in and asking to call in. So what's your question for Grace?
Yeah, for Grace, I don't know if you do remote readings. I just have been going through a lot of positive shifts, in my life. And I just always feel the energy of people that have crossed over. And I was wondering if you could tap into some of the loved ones that were in my life that have crossed over today.
Well, as you were calling in, I was listening to your voice. One of the things that they love to do is be able to see the connection between somebody that they can use as a vessel of their goodness and love and light of their messages to the person is the voice. And you know how we talk about music being an international language that we can all understand, because that's what we all resonate with, and that's what they ride. I just had to share that. The minute I heard your voice, I saw this beautiful lady who reminds me very much of Lucille Ball, the comedian Lucille Ball. Red hair, very 50s, with the pedal pusher, what do they call them today? Capris, that were a little bit tighter there. This lady, she was very elegant without even trying to be elegant. This lady has the bouffante style hair, and she was the ball of the party. Do you know anybody that sounds like that?
Yes, my grandmother, she was a feisty Italian and had her hair dyed red, so it has to be her.
That's beautiful. She is absolutely striking, and she is extremely excited that we've connected. She's been wanting to connect with you for a very long time to remind you of just how beautiful you are, and that all the things that you're doing right now really matters. You may not think so, but so many do. And she says so many people are so proud of you up there where she's at. She's all around, and she's always around you. Let me see what else she has to say.
I wish we could see Leslie.
I know, it would be wonderful. She loved cooking. She absolutely loved cooking. I see a beautiful light blue turquoisey apron with pink frillies all around it. And she would wear that often from what I see. And she would always wipe her hands on it. And I can smell a lot of spices in the air. So she does a lot of cooking with spices. I specifically smell it's a purple colored like basil. It's not just your regular basil. And she was very finicky with her spices. Is that her?
It brings back memories of going into her home and smelling. We, as Italians, we call it gravy instead of sauce. And it just was such this embracing smell. So the smells would bring me back to my childhood memories with her. Yeah.
Yes. she has been really busy where she's at. We don't stop doing the work even when we cross over. And I think that's the beauty of it. But the more that we can do here, the more we can do there, if that makes any sense. And a lot of times when we talk about the spirit world, there's a lot of paradoxes there, and they're all beautiful. The things that we learn here, like logic and intellect, they don't work over there on that side. How they communicate is through the heartstrings, the heart frequencies that make up a highway of a network of love. It literally is like that. If you could see it like I can, it's just like this. If you think of spider webs, how they can crisscross all over and you can't see it until you get there. That's kind of like that world. It's so beautiful. And it's all color, beautiful colors that you don't even know exist. And the closest we can get is the chakras. So pay attention to the colors around you. Maybe look at some of the signs around you where your grandmother is trying to speak through you. So the signs that you think are coincidence really are not. They are your loved ones.
Thank you. Thank you. That was really interesting. I love the way that you presented it with the heart impulses and the way that they connect. That was really interesting. So, yeah, I just feel great because we used to call her the witch. She was very intuitive. And I just, over the years...
Call her the what?
Through. Oh, the witch. Because she was so intuitive.
They said the web because...
But in a good
way. How funny.
Bad way. Yeah, in a good way. We loved her dearly, and she was very intuitive. She'd be the one that would say, I had a dream, be careful when you drive, because I just want to make sure you're okay, or where are you going to be when you go out tonight? And things would happen, so very interesting. Thank you for the reading. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Leslie.
Yes. And thank you so much for calling in. I hope that helped.
It does. I just, I feel like a warm blanket of love just draped around me. I think it's so cool when people come through on the other side. So, yeah, it was serendipity. I was driving and I thought, I'm a supporter and I love your moments of clarity, as you well know. And I just, it worked out today. So, yeah, I appreciate you taking the call and giving me a reading today.
You're welcome. Leslie, can I say something?
Pull over. I'm so glad you're not driving. I'm sure your grandmother's
I'm pulled over
to call as well if she was worried about that. So just saying.
I just also want to say, Tiffany and I were saying earlier how we don't believe in coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence anymore. I believe in destiny. Everything that's coming for you is happening for a reason. It's because it is your destiny and you're ready. You're ready to move forward in your spiritual journey. I'm really excited for you, Leslie.
Me too.
Thank you. Thank
Just
you.
Recently, I met someone and they said, I have the feeling that there's a reason we met. Same with you and me, Grace.
Yes.
We said the same thing. And so, Leslie, thanks for calling in. Drive safe and keep.
All right,
Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Bye. Someone in the chat also, and well done, by the way. That was beautiful. Back to basics on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube. Moments of Clarity with Tiffany on YouTube. Please hit the like button and subscribe on there. Anyway, he said, are you able to read people's voice and hear their personality?
Well, I kind of did that with Leslie. I saw her grandmother and I also understood her personality. But what I think I'm hearing you ask is, can I hear your voice and talk about your personality? And we could try that. Would you like to try that?
Call on in. Garish, 866-826-1340. 866-826-1340. And
this will be fun.
Yeah, I mean, well, anyone that would like to discuss this, and I also want to talk about all the other wonderful things Grace does, but this is for coming out of your shell. I always call it with guests come on, they're nervous, and some people have come out and they're like have never told somebody they've been sexually abused as a child, or don't want to talk about it on air, and then they do, and all of a sudden it's life-changing. I call it a post-show high.
Oh, I love that, because that's what's happening here for me. And I'd never really really talked much about it until just recently in the past, year. You might be like the third time I've ever shared it, so it's
I
all
love
new.
to be the first, and I love to be the one that breaks the person out of their shell.
Well, this is the first year. You're breaking me out of the shell. Like you said, I am in my discomfort right now because
But it's easy. I got your back. I told you.
Yeah,
We
I
have
love
Garish
it.
on the line.
Love it.
Garish, I'm back to basics to one question. I just happen to know because he's been on the show before.
Wow, okay. So, hi, how are you?
Hi, Garish. Welcome to Moments of
morning.
Clarity with Tiffany, and thanks for calling in.
Thank you, Tiffany, and good afternoon. And Grace, thank you again for coming on the show. Yeah, so where do we start? I mean, obviously you're hearing me now, but
I am.
your
I
thoughts?
love that you're speaking just authentically, and as I hear your voice resonate with mine, and can I just share, I'm a neuroscience freak. I love all things related to the body, mind, and soul, and what better than to talk about nerves. So when I hear your voice actually has certain frequencies and notes that connect to my heartstrings. And they actually, if you think of them as little locks or keys, unlocking the doors of these ways that we connect. When I can hear your voice and I can see that you are I see you as a young man. You are actually a young boy that I'm seeing you. And I see you wearing like a tunic type outfit, and it's actually beautiful. It's white and turquoisey, like a seafoam green, but more on the blue side. Absolutely wonderful, very elegant looking. And you look very well put together even when you were a young boy. So what I see is a man today, a man that takes pride in the work that he does. You are very meticulous with the work that you do. I see you being so meticulous that I see you as a surgeon. And if you aren't, you work very eloquently and elegantly with your hands. Am I on the right path or not?
Yeah, you're on the right track. I mean, I'm a podcaster, and I talk to different people, and my parents gave me the right talent to work with my hands, I guess, when it comes to my photography, my editing for my show, and for the weddings that I cover. So, yeah, I think you're on the right track. And the colors that you have mentioned is kind of based out of my podcast also. So it's kind of weird.
Not only that, if she said, I picture you in a white shirt with a blue blazer, I was about to fall off my seat. It's his profile picture off of Clubhouse. I actually know.
Oh, I haven't seen it. So I don't know anything about him, listeners. And, this is the first time I've heard him, or Leslie, our previous
I know you don't, but I do. So,
yeah.
I was waiting to see. And these callers are not planned. I had no idea they were going to call. So I didn't tell Grace about any of this. But I was thinking everything you said pretty much right on track, especially with Leslie too.
So you use your OCD for you. This is part of the beauty of what we're talking about here. A lot of the things that we think might be handicaps are nothing but just the intentions behind what label we're using. So if we look at a flower and it just happens to be growing in the middle of the highway, we call that a weed. But if we pulled that weed out and put it in a planter, nobody would know nonetheless that it was that, So it's just a matter of our perspective and looking at the things, especially what we call mental illnesses or mental health challenges or things of that nature. If we look at the goodness of how we use it, then it all becomes a gift. And one of the things that I want to mention too, in our healthcare industry, in our mental health field, is let's start being a little more mindful. We want to get rid of the stigmas. Let's start using the words as they're supposed to be and focusing not just on being positive and this and that, but positive meaning looking at the things that they use to work for them and not against them.
Right? I love the analogy of the flower that's actually the weed. Children always seem to pick them, at least mine did when they were little, that they pick them and they're like, Mommy, I brought you a flower. And it's just a weed. But the children appreciate that one little flower growing out of the weeds, and pick it and then we put it in a vase of water because they brought it to us. But but it's technically a weed, but it's still a flower among weeds. It's still beautiful. It depends on how you look at it, right?
Yes, that's exactly it. And the beauty is you receiving that and seeing that. That's where I don't think mothers give themselves the permission to just be, Remember how we felt like that. Even as adults now, if we go and feel like that, that's where we're supposed to be. It's not, grinding and this and that. Our children want us there, present. I bring, because I'm also a mindfulness, as you said, a transformational mindfulness coach, but it's my way of living too. What my way of living is my way of thinking. And as we know, in mental health, it's all about thinking, right?
And Greece, did she answer your question?
Oh, I'm sorry.
She did, but I had one more question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
How can you tell from a voice or the way they're talking that there's so much negativity around them or positivity around them? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, you know how, and you don't even have to have, quote unquote abilities. And by the way, I want to mash that. We all have this ability. We all have these abilities. It's just a matter of, I know how to play basketball. I can play basketball, but will I ever be Michael Jordan? No way, nowhere near that. But I can play. And it's the same that can be said about gifts. You sound like a very creative man. Could I do all of that? Yeah, no, I could try. Do I have the ability? Yeah, but it would never be you doing it.
Well, we're all good at something.
That's
we all
right.
have talents, and even a lot of people are experts at being bad at something. So, we are all good at something. We can.
Oh, Garish, I'm sorry. Can you repeat your question? I went off tangent, and I tend to do that. I get really excited.
No, that's okay. I was just wondering because, Tiffany knows that
the darkness. So here's the thing. If you walk into a room, there's times when you feel like, that feeling. Oh, can you see me when I do this? Like, oh man, do I have to be there? That's the darkness already telling you to get out or to protect your energy.
It could be a self-esteem issue, or that you're forced to go somewhere you really didn't want to go in the first place. One of those two.
Yeah, you have to follow your gut instinct. That's why I say in this world, what we're talking about, logic and intellect does not work. You have to go with how you feel in here, in your heart. And that's going to be really hard for a lot of people, which will be the block to their gifts. Because when you have these gifts, you have to be open and pure, even if it's pure badness. And there's a difference, I thought that once I got into the spiritual world and the spiritual realm, that everything will be angelic, and it doesn't work that way. We still have the different personalities because we are human beings. Some of us, many of us, right? So we
are human beings, yes.
Yeah. We have the personalities. So there's going to be narcissistic tendencies there. We talk about the dark triad all the way down there.
It's all about a mindset too, and being able to change our negative thoughts into positives. When we're our own worst critic, which a lot of us are, we're our own worst critic, and we need to be our own best friend and go friend ourselves, so to speak, rather than beat ourselves up and criticize and over critique ourselves all the time, because a lot of people don't see those things, that we can sit there and pick ourselves apart and question and feel embarrassed. And a lot of times other people don't see that, and they see the beauty within, not this how we see ourselves. Our own insecurities often get in the way.
I think that's what makes it so beautiful, the transformations that we talk about. I think that vulnerability is beautiful and not a weakness at all. So when we show, our quote unquote weaknesses, to me, that's strength.
Right.
And that's the paradox of this life.
Right. And ability to improve and show that we're not arrogant. We
That's
all have
right.
our faults and that it's okay to not be okay.
That's right. And I saw that on your
I
opening.
know. I'm looking for the
Loved
caption.
it. And the other thing
It's
is,
okay to not be okay.
I love that. And it is okay to not be okay. And that's part of the healing, is recognizing that, recognizing it's okay to ask for help, you know. And here's the thing, you're in the mental health field, and most everybody in the giving field, you know, nurses, doctors, anyone in the mental health field, missionaries, the mission workers, and really the whole world, really, if we think about it. Thank you, construction workers, for all that you do. Thank you, garbage men, for taking out my trash, because I sure as heck don't want to do that. I love you for that. Thank you. You know, everybody becomes so important if we look at it like that. If we look at it like a football game, most guys can understand this, I would think. Every position has its duties. If you stray from that, you screw up the entire team. So although it is about you, it is not about you. It's about the entire team working together to bring the quarterback home. Right?
It takes a whole army of everyone, every piece, even in Army and veteran, and a lot of veterans that I interviewed, some of them would say that they didn't go to combat, but they were the cook or the medic or whatever. Everyone needed each other. You know, it takes a whole team of every piece to make something work well. And thank you so much, Garish, for calling in, and have a wonderful day. I hope it also helped you. I have to let you go. We're time for our second break. And Grace did a wonderful job, in my opinion. And Garish, thank you so much for calling in and for tuning in. And I hope this helped.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I was going to maybe hung up, but go ahead, Garish.
No, I said thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for calling in, and beautiful, and it brought up a lot of great topics. It's time for our second break, and we will be back with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany in just a moment. Stay tuned.
We will return to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner after these messages.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you are like most people, you worry with the financial challenges you face today. How do you protect your family from financial ruin? How will you reduce your liabilities and get out of debt sooner? And how can you deal effectively with the constant changes in your job, your career, and your business? Overcoming your financial challenges is like building a house. You must build from the ground up. You must learn how to make more money, save more money, grow your money, and protect your money. Forever Forward Financial specializes in teaching you these 4 basic money skills so you can achieve your dreams and end your worry. Call us today and schedule your complimentary, no-obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. Call Scott Bigley at 727-422-7761.
Are you having trouble staying sober after you've completed rehab and need a positive environment to help you continue sobriety? At Real Recovery Sober Living, we strive in both community and environment for men in early sobriety to help support you while in early recovery. For only $750 a month, we cover everything you need when it comes to a safe, clean, and accountable environment necessary for success in sobriety. Check out our website at realrecoveryfl.com. That's realrecoveryfl.com. We have 6 locations in Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Brandon, North Tampa, and Bradenton, because everyone deserves a quality, sober living.
Hi, this is your host, Tiffany Warner from Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I want to thank you for all your support on ending the stigma on mental health for over the past 7 years and with over 600 episodes, as well as several award nominations and placing as a finalist in 3 categories on the People's Choice Podcast Award last year. If you're listening to this on audio, please visit and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Moments of Clarity with Tiffany and enjoy viewing previous shows in case you missed any live. If you're interested in advertising and would like to promote your company, it is affordable
affordable and an effective way to get your company the attention it deserves. I also welcome potential guests as well, and all information can be found on my website at mocwithtiffany.com. Thank you again for your continued support, as change can only come when we stand together as one.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. I'd like to give a shout out to musician-songwriter Don Lawson, who wrote, produced, and performed all the vocals and instruments on my Moments of Clarity theme song. Don gained his inspiration as a mental health counselor himself. He's always looking for artists to record his songs, and you can hear more of Don's music at reverbnation.com/Don Lawson. You can also check him out on Twitter at Don Lawson Music. Thank you so much, Don, for your contribution to Moments of Clarity and ending the stigma on mental health. It's awesome.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Now back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner, licensed mental health counselor. To engage in the conversation, call 866-826-1340. Here's Tiffany.
Hello and welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor and I'm your host. And today we've had a very inspirational guest and very inspirational show on being able to really do readings with two callers, Leslie and Garish, that I think gained a lot of insight towards themselves from my guest, who is not only a CEO, holistic wellness coach, everything to helping with so many projects from veterans to everything. Her bio is way too long to read. But if you read under the description of the show, you'll see what I'm talking about. So, and not only a wonderful person, but spiritual as well as clairvoyant medium and psychic and helping people transform their lives. And welcome back to Moments of Clarity, Grace De La Rosa.
Hi, everybody. So I love the stigma thing. I wanted to touch on that really quickly with, what we talk about, clairvoyant, psychic medium, the label of it. I've been called everything from the devil to a witch to, all kinds of other things now.
That's what people are scared of it. Like, at least we're not back in Salem, back in the whatever, you'd be burned at the stake or something.
I really would because, when I was
to now,
it's funny because when I drink my tea and I make my own, I buy my own herbs, fresh herbs and spices, and I make my tea according to, I'm also an intuitive herbalist. So I'm able to intuit the things that I need for my body because our bodies can heal. And if we listen to our bodies already telling us what it needs from us. It's a collaborative effort of the mind, body, and soul to come together. And all you have to do is listen to your body. For instance, many of you might be intolerant to dairy. How do I know that? Well, do you get bloated? Does it make you feel sick? Your body is saying, I don't want that in my system. Please don't feed that to me. It's kind of like a baby. The only way a baby can communicate to its mother and father is by crying. That's it. How does the mother know? It's called intuition. It's the stuff that we weren't taught in school. And this is one of the problems I have with our educational system. I try to run for office there and I realize they're not ready to hear and change. And until they get there, it won't happen. And you'll keep seeing the same people over and over, and things won't change. I'm sorry. I just remembered. I shouldn't even be talking about this stuff, but it's kind of what I'm doing now is we're educating, whether or not we know it.
Whatever you want, you get on the show and people just come out free on here because pretty much go.
Yes. I mean, that was a perfect moment of clarity for me to realize, yes, that this is an educational platform. It is educational. So what I want to say is it's the medicines, that we can help our bodies start healing really well are plant-based things. This is my holistic aspect of what I do. Holistic basically means you can't fix one aspect of a human being and expect them to be whole. You have to fix and make sure that all these areas of that person's life becomes enmeshed and creates a homeostasis in your body.
I don't like using the word fix. So many people want to just fix themselves or whatever. I'm not putting you down or anything like that. I like
No.
use the word, find solutions
Yeah,
or
thank you for that.
or cope or heal or
Yes, heal. I love heal. You're right. Thank you for that. And here we are talking about getting rid of stigmas, and then so I need to be reminded. And that's what we need to do, remind each other about the words that we're using, because words matter. Why? Because it creates our thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts are things. And so whatever we think will come. I don't know about you, but if you look back in your times, back in the day, look at what you wished for and look that you got most of it. And a lot of times you're like, dang, I shouldn't have wished for that.
Or the positive things,
or darn, oh my gosh, this is more than what I even, like my life today is more than I could have even imagined in a lifetime. To be able to do all of the things that I do was what I dreamed of when I was in my teens. I said, one day I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to change the world. And I'm going to create the most beautiful things for all of us to come together.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening in our community. We're forgetting what unity means in the word community. And the first 4 letters of community is COM, COMM. COM is speaking. It's communication. And we've forgotten to do that. We've forgotten to do that and start judging. And we talk about people with mental health challenges as opposed to mental health illnesses. If we stay positive in the gifts that they provide to us under that label, then it's no longer an illness.
I couldn't agree more. The word illness is scary for people that makes them not want to go in and figure out what their diagnosis might be, because it makes them feel like they're going to go in and find out that they're sick or something's wrong with them. And it's not. We all have something. There's even a phase of life problem in the manual for diagnoses and the mental health manual. Everyone has something. On YouTube, Fernando Vasquez says, I believe that the bad things happen to us is meant to happen, and that it just makes us stronger and ready for our next step in life, either now or later. And I couldn't agree with that more, because a lot of things, when we're going through them, it sucks. But in hindsight, we realize, oh, well, maybe that was meant to happen to lead me to where I'm at now. And it's how we handle them that define our character as well. We have 5 minutes, and so I want to get to all these things, but you've got so much thoughts and everything. So
that just means we can keep getting together from time to time, and just keep doing like a series.
We can. Yes. We'll talk about that after the show. Stay with me. But if you want to know more about Grace, her website is livingwithgrace.net. livingwithgrace.net, and you can find out more information, how to reach her, and connect with her network, that kind of stuff.
Thank you.
livingwithgrace.net. And there's so much more, because when I said that we can have another series, I haven't even gotten through part of your bio. I had to break it up into segments, because for me to read with the ADHD, I was like, wow. And it even went through the website spam, because it was so fulfilled that I couldn't find it. So it was stuck and it wouldn't filter through my email. Like, I sent it 2 days ago. I'm like, I can't. Then I go, oh, because it considered it a lot of information, more than others. It's pretty funny. I think you won the award for the longest bio I've ever had. That means you've accomplished that much, pretty much.
Oh,
So
yes,
congrats
thank
on
you.
that.
Okay, so one thing before we leave, I just want to get rid of that woo-woo type stigma of what a clairvoyant psychic medium can do. And maybe next time we can talk a little bit more about the different clairs that we all have. And these are things that should have been taught to us in elementary school. It is no different than talking about human development, because that's what it is. You see, when we put it in that category, it ends up becoming less woo-woo and more of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I call it foo-foo, but yeah. So that's what I love about speaking with you, is that you're talking about all this holistic wellness and spirituality and everything that kind of is doesn't always collaborate with clinical psychology, but you say it in a way that it doesn't sound foo-foo for me.
Right. So I want to make it even less foo-foo for all, And if we start talking about this, we'll start realizing, hey, let's ask about this in education, because darn it, don't you feel kind of gypped now? It's like you have all these superpowers and you weren't even told about it. That's what I like to see.
Or we questioned them our whole life.
They are God-given, or whatever you want to call that, love-given. And it's based on how you live your life, with the extent to which you can use those gifts in this world. That's why spirituality means more to me than anything. I now have that connection that I yearned for and didn't even know it, I knew something was wrong anyways, that's another story, which is what I thought we were going to talk about until we started talking about this. And this is the part of really embracing the process, right?
Nothing happens on accident. And you said you were uncomfortable breaking through, and you did great today. Wonderful job.
Yeah, not anymore.
Basically broke the mold, and let's see.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Time to wrap up.
But that's the beauty. That's the beauty. You have to be cracked to be open to go into this next realm of living, which is your spiritual journey, beginning and opening up for you, unfolding to see the reality of how life is so just beautiful.
It is. And I'm just gonna end with that right there, because that is a great closing. And we have to end. Ed's gonna cut us off. So anyway, everyone, thank you so much for listening to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. We're on every Thursday and Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live, and Twitter Live, as well as on the radio.
I'm sorry. You look like Angelina Jolie.
What?
You look like Angelina Jolie.
Need glasses. No. Anyway, please be kind to yourself and to a stranger. You never know what they're going through. And tune in tomorrow. We have a great show planned. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, team. Thank you for everyone that's participated and called in. And please continue to watch and share the story on your platform. Change can only come when we stand together as one. See you tomorrow.
Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments. Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, you're so alive. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity.